everyone, Russell here, back with another video, and as you can see I've got two beautiful Xbox Ones here. I have an Xbox One X and an original Fat Boy Xbox One. And basically this video right here is at long last kind of my opinion on the Xbox One X and if it's worth it. I also kind of want to do a little bit of comparison between the two where I think they made some improvements here from this one. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. First, I want to say that the original Xbox, I like the design. I know I'm probably in the minority on that, but I really liked it. A lot of people said it looked like a VCR, and you know, I don't think that's an insult, man. I really liked it. Sometimes I like my electronics to be a little bulky. Not too bulky, but you know, a little bit of heft to them. So starting out, I want to say that I don't dislike either of the designs. The Xbox One X, as you can see, they went a little smaller, actually a lot smaller, and they actually went heavier too. This thing is quite a bit heavier because I'm sure they're jamming all those electronic goodies in there. Between the two here, they did make some design changes that I really do like on the Xbox One X. So instead of these capacitive touch buttons on the original Xbox One, they actually replaced them with clicky actual physical buttons, which I love. I can't tell you how many times that I've actually accidentally bumped it, or my daughter has, or a dog has come by and just even been in the vicinity of this button and it just gets somehow activated. So really good job on them, you know, replacing that button. Also, if you notice the USB right here, they have one on the side. It's actually on the other side over there. I don't know what they were thinking, because this is kind of it's a big console to begin with, so having a wire sticking out of the side makes it even wider and makes it a little difficult to fit into some spaces. So not sure why they put it there, but I'm glad that they relocated it to here. As far as like connections and everything in the back, there's not really any difference with the exception of there's no connect port, which, you know, at first I was like, you know, that's, well, what about all the connect stuff? Well, what connect stuff exactly? I had high hopes for it. Let's put it this way. I fell in for the hype, and I even had a Connect back in the 360 days, and I bought into it, and man, it was fun for a little while, but then it was disappointing. They could have made it a lot better, I feel. So as far as design features, they made it smaller. They've both been pretty quiet, but for as small as this is, I'm really surprised how quiet it is compared to like my PS4. Let's see, design features, other things like the USB port, the buttons, all really like it. Not really missing the Connect port. Moving on to performance, loving that HDR and that 4K. Even that 4K Blu-ray player is primo, man. I am loving it. If you have a 4K TV, it's definitely worth it to get this system. My criticism, though, is it's $500. If they can get that down to like $400, I really feel that they might be able to close some of that gap on the PS4. I mean, I don't know if Microsoft can, you know, pull ahead this generation, but they could definitely close a significant portion of that gap if they could lower the price, or heck, if they could do $350 for a while on it. Man, these things would sell like fire, because at $500, it's worth it, but it's pushing it a little bit, because, I mean, $500 is a lot of money. And basically my recommendation would be is if you have a 4K TV and you're a pretty avid gamer, yeah, it's totally worth it. But when you start getting into the class of gamer that doesn't have a 4K TV yet and maybe doesn't game quite as much as a lot of people, it's questionable whether it'd be worth it. Maybe they might want to get a 1S. I mean, 4K TVs are getting more common and they're getting super cheap, so it's right at that edge there. So if they were to go to $400, I think the floodgates would open even more. I mean, they are selling extremely well, but I really think they could do better. So that is why one major criticism that I can think of for the One X right now is its price. Other than that, I mean, the graphics are gorgeous. Load times on games are amazingly quick, with the one exception of if it's enhanced for 4K or HDR, expect the same load time or actually even a little bit longer than the original Xbox because it's a much larger file size. That being said, your downloads are going to be huge for these 4K games. So just letting you know, if you pick up Forza 7 and have it for this, holy crap, that is, number one, it's a huge game to begin with, and then there's like a massive update. I really don't want to exaggerate, but I think it was over 30 gigs. It was ridiculous. Anyway, just keep that in mind. If you have a game, it's going to be a while to load it, unfortunately. Oh, well, that's one of my favorite things. I was scared that there was a chance they might not include a physical disc slot. Glad they have, and I hope they continue to do that. I'm a big fan of physical media, so good job. Other performance things. I think I've already mentioned how quiet it is. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it plays games. It does everything that basically this Xbox does, except better. Anyway, so that's my recommendation, guys. If you're a hardcore gamer, you got a 4K TV, I don't know why you don't have one of these yet if you're a Microsoft fan. It's definitely the best console as far as graphically that I have, and I'm really enjoying it. There is actually I think they upgraded the controller with the S, but there's a texture difference on the back of the controller, which is basically the only difference that you're gonna find. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. Man, I am happy with it. I am definitely happy with it. So, like I said, if you have a 4K TV and you're an avid gamer, pick it up. If you don't have a 4K TV and you game, it's questionable. If you have like plans to get a 4K TV in the near future, then yeah, it makes sense to pick it up. But I mean, the Xbox One S, you can pick it up so cheap now that it's really hard to make that decision right there. So, you know, parents, I'd recommend just getting the S because this is an expensive machine. You don't want younger children breaking it, you know, unless they're super responsible. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's my video. I don't want to ramble on too much because I can talk all day about these systems. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. And as always, game on.